And welcome to the second half of the Toombs County Bulldogs in Metter. We're getting ready for the second half kick with the Dogs leading 28-0. The Dogs will be kicking off to the Tigers. Demetrius Owens opened up the game with an 85-yard kickoff return. He was injured in the opening half, but he is okay. He was warming up, trying to get ready for the second half. I'm not sure if he'll play with the big lead. Deep kick by Tinoco all the way down to the 1, return to the 15, to the near side of the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, and finally over comes Tyvion Ashley and another dog to bring him down at the midfield stripe. That was a big-time tackle by Jaquel Boyd, basically picking him up and placing him down on the ground. From the 49, Gibson in at quarterback to start off the second half. Runs it right up the middle. Zigs to his left, takes the ball inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. These quarterbacks have had some success running against the Toombs County Bulldogs. The freshman, Lane Young, started. Then Gibson came in. He's a heavier quarterback. He's the one that collided with Demetrius Owens and forced Demetrius down to the ground and over to the sideline in the first half. Gain of 6 to make it 2nd and 4. Receivers out left and right. Gibson with one back behind him. Bulldogs shuffle around on their defensive line and get set to go. Linebackers about 4 yards off the line of scrimmage. Play fake, and Gibson runs it to the 40, to the 38, and he's tackled from behind. Good tackle there by Keyshawn Morgan. Safety coming over to make the play. Tackled at the 36. First down for the Tigers. 1 minute into the third quarter. Bulldogs pitching a shutout. They've thrown one this season. Homecoming against Jeff Davis. It's Metter's homecoming this evening, and you know the Tigers want to get on the scoreboard. They had a chance in the opening half. Nice drive, but it stalled. And Gibson keeps it again on a play fake, and this time the Bulldogs gobble them up behind the line of scrimmage and push them backwards. I mean, there were 6 dogs there, including Luke Anderson and Ashley. So 2-yard loss, another TFL for the Toombs County Bulldogs, making it 2nd and 12. They seem to tighten up when Metter gets going. They'll give up some chunks, but so far they denied the Tigers a chance to score points. And big plays like that have been a reason why. Joseph Pittman runs out to the left side of the formation. 2 receivers to the near side. Dogs with a 4-man front. Snap to Gibson from the shotgun. And they're going to double reverse it. And here comes Johnson working it down the left side of the field, inside the 30 to the 25. And the Dogs finally force him to the sideline and out with a big gain. Double handoff in the backfield. And Johnson, 5'11", and a junior, makes it work. So now the Tigers in the red zone against the Bulldogs, trailing 28-0. By the way, at halftime, Vidalia leading Swainsboro 14-0. And probably late in the second quarter, Benedictine 44, Bacon County zip. At halftime last week, Benedictine was leading the Bulldogs 21-7. Gibson back of the gun, 2 receivers to the wide side of the field. No, that's Young back in there, and he throws it short, and the ball is caught for about a 5-yard gain. He's piled up on the far sideline. It's 4th down and a chance for the Bulldogs to get a stop here and continue with their shutout. Young remains in the game. He's the freshman. 4th down and a little more than 1 for Metter at the Bulldog 12. Young spreading the field with 4 receivers, 2 each side. Trying to draw the Bulldogs off. Maybe now he throws it short. The ball's caught, and the Bulldogs make the tackle inside the 10 at the 9. First down, stop made by Dalton McBride. On the catch by Rylan Rigdon. 7 minutes to play third quarter. 2nd and goal for the Metter Tigers. At the Bulldogs 6, the ball's on the right hash. They shift the running back to the right of the formation. Use some motion to the short side. Young runs it. And the Bulldogs grab him by the ankle and bring him down. Irvin Mincy and Matthews with the penetration. And a tackle to make it 3rd down. Young diving down inside the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 3. Dogs leading 28-0. Metter taking the second half kickoff, returning it to around midfield and then driving from that point trying to score. 3rd and goal. Again, the back shifts to the right. Again, motion to the short side of the field. And they hand it off to the motion man. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage at the 5. Jaquel Boyd coming in to smother that play. That's a TFL and a big one right there to make it 4th down. And welcome back. We got the decision down, ready to go with Young in there, quarterback, and Metter 4th and goal from the Bulldog 5 with the Dogs leading 28-0. Deckles in the offensive backfield. Will they try to run it or throw it? They got 4 receivers and a motion man, and they're going to double reverse it again to the 6, to the 5, and into the end zone with a Metter touchdown on the Tigers' homecoming. They ran that play twice on this particular possession, a double handoff. Each time it worked for the Tigers, and this time for a touchdown for Metter in the right corner of the end zone. And the Tigers finally get on the scoreboard on the run, but Johnson to make it 28-6 with 5:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. And here's a PAT try up high into the air. It is good. It's a 28-7 Bulldog lead with 5:48 to play in the 3rd period as we break on Y101. Ashley out that way as well. McBride in the pistol, taking the snap. Gives it to Jaden Sistrunk. He's across the 40. He's to the 44. He's to the 49. He's up to the midfield stripe. Jaden surging for about 14 on that run. Reminiscent of several runs he had last week against Benedictine, which scored at least 44 in the opening half against Bacon. Line of scrimmage is the Bulldog 47. Penalty flag as Lane punts it up in the air. It's going to bounce inside the 20, and Lane gets it to hop inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. But there's a penalty flag at the 48. Another fantastic punt by Lane, who talked about how he gets the ball to roll forward and not backwards. A first-year punter. His only kicking background was he was a soccer player, not in high school, but in rec league. He was always an all-star, he and D.R. Meadows. They played on the same team, even though they're baseball players. Oh, this is a beauty. Up high in the air and a fair catch taken at the 20. Man, he has turned into one of the best Bulldog punters I've seen. The Dogs have had some good ones in recent years. Tamon Hampton was like the Macon Telegraph punter of the year. And then Brandon Dowd followed him. Those two are really good. But Lane is also really good. 1st and 10 for Young. And he swings it out left side. And the Bulldogs will slice down Howard behind the line of scrimmage. So a little short throw did not net anything there. A tackle for a loss for the Toombs County Bulldogs. Speaking of tackling, Jamar Smith, who had a big game here when the two teams played back in 2012, is still the leading tackler for Holmes Community College. Last night in a game in which Holmes won, he had 11 tackles. In the game prior, he had a career-high junior college of 15. He's the 10th leading solo tackler in junior college football. And the quarterback, Young, runs it across the 30. And a bunch of Dogs meet him at the 31, including Jaquel Boyd, Jason Lowe, Kyle Reynolds, Will Fuller, Jimmy Edwards. It may not have been everybody. 3rd and 9. Jamar also got to run the ball for 4 yards. Not in the game last night, but in the game prior. He scored a rushing touchdown against Metter here. Also threw a pass in that game that was incomplete, one of those halfback passes that he used to throw all the time in middle school. 3rd and 9, pressure on Young. He's gobbled up in the backfield. A sack for Jaquel Boyd. Boy, he came in there. Nobody touched him. And Jaquel sacked the QB back at the 26 to make it 4th down. So maybe one more play here in the 3rd quarter. Very quick 3rd quarter. The Dogs haven't had the ball very much. Metter has dominated time of possession. So McBride back in the offensive backfield with Jaden Sistrunk. From the right hash, the Dogs ready on the 1st and 10. Motion from Lane Adams. Dalton McBride runs to the right, goes to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, and finally tackled at the 31 on a big run by the junior QB. He's still got those quick feet. You don't see it as much in his junior season as you did when he's a freshman in sophomore, but he picks up a big gain for the Dogs as we head to the fourth quarter with Toombs County leading this Region 2 game in Metter over the Tigers 28-7 as we break on Y101. All right, welcome back. Getting ready for the fourth quarter. The Dogs trying to score their first second half points of the ball game, leading 28-7 after the nice run by Dalton McBride. The Dogs are down at the Metter 30-yard line. First and 10. Jaden Sistrunk, the junior, in the offensive backfield. He and Keyshawn Morgan carried the ball about equally last week against Benedictine, gaining a combined 129 yards. Motion to the near side of the formation. It's Sistrunk running left side. He's trying to get to the corner, and he does. He goes to the 20, to the 15, and he is pushed to the boundary and out with a Bulldog first down. Motion to the left from Ashley, and Keyshawn Morgan runs the ball up the middle, but he's not going to pick up the first down. He is stopped inside the 10 to make it fourth down. And we might see Rig Tinoco. Here comes Tinoco, setting up for a field goal try. It's going to be at an angle, though. So the ball's on the left hash. And he's a right-footed soccer-style kicker. He had a kick similar to this one at Bacon County, and he missed it. So he's going to have to adjust to his angle. It's going to be a 25-yard attempt from the left hash with Luke Anderson holding. Here we go, the kick up in the air, and it is sailing through for 3 for the Toombs County Bulldogs. And the Toombs County Bulldogs score their first second-half points on the field goal from 25 yards out by Rig Tinoco. Dogs leading 31-7 as we break on Y101. Deckel moves to his right. Motion to the right of the formation. Sweep it off to Johnson. Johnson tackled behind the line of scrimmage by a handful of Bulldogs. He's going to lose about 5. Jaquel Boyd from his defensive end position leading a Bulldog charge and another TFL for a team that's had a lot of them this season. So second down and about 15 for the Metter Tigers with 9:35 to go in the game. After the game, I'll be headed down to the field. We'll talk to head coach Richie Marsh and some of the Dogs about tonight's game. And then maybe finally mention the V word. Snap to Young, dropping back under serious pressure, going back into the end zone. The Bulldogs may have grabbed him and picked up 2 points. Let's see. They have not signaled safety. All-out dog rush. And Young goes down just outside the goal line. Going to call him down at around the 2. Dogs had a safety at Bacon, but that was in a punt situation. Almost got a safety there with 8:51 to go in the game. Now it's second down and real long. The Tigers have to go roughly 25 to pick up the first down. Here comes Jaden Sistrunk running right up the middle, and he goes inside the 45, and he's tackled by the Tigers at their 43. You know, the last couple of years, the Dogs, of course, went 2-8, and when I went out to practice in weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10, you could tell that the Bulldogs weren't really playing for something, because you could always tell that in practice watching a team. But when you're playing for something, practice is a lot different, and I noticed that when I went out there on Tuesday. They were intense because they're playing for something, a chance to go back to the playoffs for the first time since 2008. That's a long time ago, especially for this program. Here's Jaden Sistrunk fighting for the first down, shedding tacklers and going inside the 40. And he might have the Bulldog first down, and he does. That'll stop the clock as he moves the ball down to the Tiger 39. 6 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the game, and Toombs County leading Metter 31-7. Bulldogs had a 28-0 lead at halftime. They're 3 points on a 25-yard field goal by Rig Tinoco. Receivers out left and right for the junior quarterback Dalton McBride, who twists and turns and looks to his left and right before the snap. And he gives the ball to Sistrunk, and he finds a hole, and he goes inside the 30 to the 25 to the 20 to the 15 to the 10 to the 5. He almost took it in. Jaden Sistrunk right up the gap. 4th and goal for the Toombs County Bulldogs. Metter scored on a 4th down play here in the second half, and the Dogs will try to do it from the Tiger 3 with Jaden Sistrunk in the backfield. And Sistrunk gets the ball and finds an opening and hops into the end zone with a Dog touchdown. Somebody did a great job blocking on the right side of the offensive line. It could have been maybe Cody Fuller, because there was a big enough hole for Jaden to get to there easily, and then he had to do a little hop to get into the end zone, and he did, scoring his 2nd touchdown of the night and his 2nd one from 3 yards out, and this one on 4th down. And the Bulldogs lead 37-7. So they have scored 9 points here in the second half after scoring 28 in the first. And here's Rick Tinoco to try to make it 38-7, and he does. Dogs leading by 31, 4:10 to go in the game as we take a break on your home of the Dogs, Y101. Because it's pretty exciting at the end. Johnson running the ball to the 40, and Noah Anderson grabs him and pushes him down to the 35-yard line. He stays in bounds. The clock running to 10.6, and I guess the Tigers will take a timeout. 1st and 10. Maybe one more final play of this game. Young dropping back, throws it across the middle, and the ball deflected, almost intercepted with no time left on the clock. And that's going to do it for game number 8 for the Toombs County Bulldogs. That may have been Galen Salem who picked off a pass to basically end the JV game yesterday, almost picked that one. That would be kind of ironic. I think that was him, number 30. That's it. Both teams shaking hands, and the Bulldogs win 38-7.